What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are going to be trying a full Alolan Gen 7 team. Now, I haven't had the time to fully farm up the Pokemon and candy from the new season that's going on, right, with all the Alola Pokemon out there, but don't worry, I will and be able to test them out for you guys. So I'm going to use Pokemon that I already have. Alolan Muck, Alolan Exeggutor, and Alolan Raichu there on Safe Swap. This team has some good coverage on the meta, but it's also very frail. You guys got to understand that. This is the early days, but it honestly did pretty well, especially against very meta teams that you guys are going to be seeing today. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team in these battles. How is Season of Spice, the new Season 11, going for you guys? Let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, getting into this first battle here, we have Alolan Muck here on the lead versus Sableye. So somewhat of a neutral matchup right here. The one big thing I need to be very concerned about is a return landing. What's great about Sableye is it's very versatile, even against Pokemon that it would be weak to, because it does have access to return if you purify it. So we're going to go ahead and throw these Dark Pulses here. That's a great amount of damage that I desperately needed early on. So we're going to go ahead and respect the return, and we will shield. This does a lot of damage to Alolan Muck, and it was a return, which is perfect. Now, we are going to see a Registeel come in, so because we gave up a shield, we're going to have to soften up this Registeel with a Dark Pulse right here. Doesn't do too much damage, but we're going to go ahead and go into Alolan Raichu now. Cool thing about Alolan Raichu is it resists all of the moves here from Registeel. Focus Blast, Zap Cannon, Flash Cannon. It's really, really nice. So we're going to go ahead and obviously no shield right here. It's still going to do a lot of damage depending on what move they use. They're going to go ahead and go for the Flash Cannon. It's still resisted, but it still does a lot. We're so squishy, and those charge moves hit so hard. But what we're going to do here is we're actually going to undercharge it. I know in this situation that maybe my Alolan Muck is a win con here. And I was hoping to be able to farm down, but I wasn't able to, so I'm going to have to give up shields. I'm reading they have an Azumarill in the back. Think about it. Sableye lead, Registeel, they got to have an Azumarill. So we're going to go ahead and come in here with the Alolan Exeggutor. We do see them force or safe swap back into Sableye, which means we're going to be forcing a shield right here with Seed Bomb. We do get the shield. And then we are going to go ahead and swap now into Alolan Muck. Again, I am sticking to my guns that there is probably an Azumarill in the back, considering we've seen Sableye and Registeel, so I will shield. Again, the return, which is beautiful. That means I will be able to farm down right here with Snarl, and we are in a great position, depending on what they have in the back. Let's see. It's going to be... and it is going to be the Azumarill right there. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Sludge Wave. Obviously doing super effective damage right here. Because we're so far ahead on energy, there's no reason to shield bait. So we do get a shield, which is great. I'm also counting the bubbles right here, and I'm going to need to swap into Alolan Exeggutor if I can, just to try to catch the charge move. So let's see if we can do it. We're going to go ahead and try to swap right now. And no, we don't catch it, but we do almost get to the Seed Bomb there. I could have potentially still won by not swapping out and keeping Alolan Exeggutor alive, but we do see them try to swap into Registeel and catch the charge move, but I am able to farm down and go for a Sludge Wave now versus Azumarill. I had so much energy here on Alolan Muck, that's why I decided to have it as my win con, because I knew that neutral damage versus Registeel would come in very handy. So good game to my opponent right there. Okay, moving into the next one. We have Muck on the lead versus Medicham. Again, another tough neutral matchup, but this time I don't like staying in there. I'm going to go into the Raichu here. I'd rather come back into that matchup with energy, but we have a Swampert swap in, and ladies and gentlemen, battlers of all ages, we have Grassnot on Alolan Raichu. Watch those earbuds. Here we go. Boom! One shot to the Swampert, and they were not expecting the Alolan Raichu Grassnot. That's why I'm running it. Alolan Muck is weak to ground-type Pokemon, so most commonly, Whiscash, Swampert, Galarian, Stunfisk, right? There's going to be a lot of common ones that you see in Open Great League, which is why I have Alolan Exeggutor in the back, right? Bullet Seed and Seed Bomb, and why I have Alolan Raichu on Safe Swap with Grassnot, to throw people off or draw that Pokemon in. So we do go ahead, and we're coming back into the matchup right here. I am able to get to another Thunder Punch in time, which is great. This is why I'm rocking with Thunder Punch and Grassnot. You could go with Wild Charge, but no, it's not going to be as spammy, and you will be debuffing yourself. So we get Medicham extremely low. I am now going to go ahead and come in with Alolan Muck. And basically, so I decided to come in with Alolan Exeggutor. That's okay too. We're going to go ahead and shield right here. I obviously don't want to get hit with an Ice Punch or a Psychic, and it is going to be an Ice Punch, so thankfully we did shield that. We will now farm down with Bullet Seed right here, and let's see what their final Pokemon is going to be. It's going to be an Alolan Raichu as well. Very interesting. Maybe they didn't know it has Grass Knot. I would hope they did, or maybe they weren't expecting it. But either way, we should be able to get to a Dragon Pulse in time right here. We're going to go ahead and shield. I want to get my first boom on Alolan Executor, as it's going to feel so good. They had Grass Knot. Okay, so we definitely caught them off guard. They were not expecting it. But we're going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Pulse here with the Palm Tree. Boom! One-shots the Alolan Raichu, and that is a good battle. Very well played. So 2 satisfying booms in that game. Alright, moving to the next one, we got Muck versus Obstagoon. Again, another bad matchup, fresh, so I go into Alolan Raichu. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, this is kind of losing, right? Alolan Raichu takes super effective damage from Night Slash. While that is true, Alolan Raichu here can really shred with fast moves, and we see a Frostlass come in as well. So we're just going to go ahead and go for Thunder Punches, and again, this is why I love Thunder Punch Grass Knot, like you saw before with Swampert, and now in this situation against Frostlass, where this is technically a neutral matchup, but I am so far ahead on energy, and I do have one last shield that I might just be able to flip this one. And again, you guys can see those Thunder Punches are loading up quite quickly, and make sure you have Volt Switch there as that fast move, because it gets energy very quickly, and it just does a ton of damage. So we're going to be able to get to another Thunder Punch in time. We got both shields, and this is going to be taking out the Frostlass. So we won Switch, and we have all shields gone. We're going to see the Obstagoon come back in, but we're going to be able to get to another Thunder Punch in time. This is why Alolan Raichu can be so deadly on Safe Swap. Think about it. Doing all this neutral damage on the meta, resisting the charge moves from Registeel, that's a pretty solid Pokemon. Now, we're going to go ahead and come in with Alolan Muck right here, just soak the cross chops. But they do throw Night Slash, so maybe they have Gunk Shot or Hyper Beam. So they're going to go ahead and throw another one. Nothing to be concerned about right here. Even a cross chop would not be enough to do too much damage to us. Now, we're going to go ahead and throw the Dark Pulse right here. This is resisted, but I want to get this thing out of there. That way we have 2-to-1 Pokemon advantage. Now let's see what that final Pokemon is going to be. It's going to be a Galarian Slowbro. So very spicy team right there. I love to see it, considering I've seen a lot of meta Pokemon as of recently. So it's great to see a spicy team, but boom! Nearly one-shots right there with the Dark Pulse. So that is a good battle. Very well played. Okay, moving into the next one, we got Muck on the lead versus Sableye again. We've seen this matchup. You've seen some of these neutral, kind of more losing matchups, right, with Obstagoon and Medicham, but Sableye is the one where we need to be prepared for return. Now, this was a bit quick, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go, and it is just going to be a foul play. That's perfectly fine. Still does a decent amount of damage, and they swap into a Bastiodon. Oh, man. Okay, so I don't have a hard answer for Bastiodon, period. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build back up to the Dark Pulse and now swap into Alolan Executor. Let's see what the tree can do. It's a 2-to-2 shield situation. I'm doing neutral damage with Bullet Seed and Seed Bomb, and I will go ahead and shield the Flamethrower right here. Now, let's see what we can pull off. This is a Bastiodon. It looks to be Best Buddy, and it's probably XL. Now, I am also concerned there is a Registeel in the back, but thankfully Alolan Raichu does pretty decent against that, as we know. So we're just going to go ahead and keep throwing these Seed Bombs as Alolan Executor here. With Bullet Seed, Seed Bomb is a really nice combinations to spam charge moves. So we're going to go ahead and throw that next one. We've taken out the Bastiodon here. I was surprised they didn't give up any shields, but that's perfectly fine if they don't. So we get the Bastiodon in there. That is great. Hopefully I can get to one more Seed Bomb right here. Yes, I can. This does a decent amount of neutral damage to Sableye, and it's exactly what we need in this situation. And it lands. That is a beautiful chunk of damage. Now, Alolan Muck is going to go ahead and come in. I have that Dark Pulse ready. That's why I loaded it back up against that Bastiodon. We're going to go ahead and shield. It's just another foul play, which is annoying, but we have the Dark Pulse ready to force the shield from our opponent as well. This is going to be a tight race, so we do get a shield there, so there may be a Zoomerl in the back, and maybe they just misclicked on Safe Swap, but that is okay. Here comes another foul play. Hopefully we can hang on. It is going to be resisted, and we do with 1 HP in a dream, able to get to the final Dark Pulse. Now, after this Dark Pulse fires off, we got to swap right away into Alolan Raichu to get ahead on energy. We get the shield, we swap, and this is why we have Volt Switch. 1, 2. We get it, the Sableye out of there. The final Pokemon is going to be a Medicham, so things are looking very good. As long as this thing doesn't have Ice Punch, we are looking pretty solid. We're going to go for Thunder Punch first here, as it's going to do a decent amount of neutral damage, and now we are within striking range of Grass Knot, so we're going to go ahead and throw that as well, and this should be enough damage to take out the Medicham. So that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. All right. Moving into the next battle, we have Muck on the lead versus Trevenant. Okay, very positive lead right here. First, really solid lead. I know Sableyes are pretty solid, but again, Return is deadly. We're going to see a Talonflame swap in, so we're going to go ahead and go into the Alolan Raichu right here. Volt Switch is doing really nice for us as well. We're going to go ahead and shield, and then I'm debating farming down, but I really cannot give up 2 shields right here, so I'll go ahead and throw the Thunder Punch in the middle of their cycle. That way, if they do decide to shield, I'll give up the second shield to maintain that positive switch advantage. They let it go, which is fine, so Talonflame goes down. We are going to see the Trevenant come back in. And what's great about Alolan Raichu is it's such a glass cannon that even resisted moves will hurt. It'll chunk the health here, so they may be thinking this is a wild charge. That's why they shielded. But as you guys see, Volt Switches are really adding up, so think about the damage a wild charge would have done right there. That would have done like 60%, 50%. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Dark Pulse that we have saved up here versus Trevenant. This is going to force that final shield from our opponent, which is beautiful. And then we will see them swap out into a Registeel. So this is going to be a tough situation. What we're going to have to do is completely rely on Alolan Muck to carry this game for us. We're going to need to go for basically 2 Dark Pulses here, shielding the Focus Blast, 2 Dark Pulses, and then get into that Alolan Exeggutor to finish off the Registeel if we can. That way Alolan Muck here can do well against Trevenant in the back end. So there's 1 Dark Pulse. We're going to load up a bit. We're going to go for the second Dark Pulse. And this should be enough here, as we're going to be swapping now into the Exeggutor, as it's extremely low, and a Seed Bomb from this range should be enough damage. Registeel's trying to overload on energy, but they overloaded a bit too much, and I'm going to be able to get off this Seed Bomb. So things are looking very good. It's going to be a race now to see if we can get to the Dragon Pulse to close this game out, but Trevenant's going to go ahead and throw the Shadow Ball right away, and rightfully so. Hopefully we can survive. No, not really. Shadow Claw is going to take us out. That's fine. We still have our Alolan Muck 2 Snarls away from a Dark Pulse. So they're going to go ahead and go throw for the Shadow Ball here. This is going to do actually a decent amount of resisted damage. As you guys can see, that's still hurt, but we're going to be able to get to the second one, or the Dark Pulse in time. And that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. So this team, I'm telling you, it's sneaky strong. Sneaky strong. It was a lot of fun to play. All right, moving to the next one, we got Muck on the lead versus Cresselia. Okay, very positive matchup right here. I'm very comfortable now in this situation, but I make a slight mistake here that you guys are going to see. We're going to see them go into Talonflame. I didn't go into Alolan Raichu right away. I don't know why. I just decided to stay in with the Alolan Muck and go for the Dark Pulse here. But we do get a shield, which is great. I'll take that. But I will have to shield now on Alolan Raichu, we do still have some energy there on the Alolan Muck. So we're going to go ahead and shield that Flame Charge now. We're going to overload just a bit, and we overfarmed too much. So now, this is why I was saying I misplayed this. I should have gone into Alolan Raichu right away, and I shouldn't have tried to fully farm down. But we fully farmed down, which is fine. Cresselia likely going to be coming back in. We have a lot of energy for this thing. Now, they swapped, I think, right there. Or maybe they just brought in the Defense Form Deoxys. But they brought in Defense Form Deoxys, and now they swapped into Cresselia. So I know my Alolan Exeggutor is going to be able to take this one. Grass Knot as well is going to take us out, which is fine. I mean, not Alolan, sorry. Alolan Muck here is going to be able to take this one, obviously. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and go for Dark Pulses. This is basically looking to be a good game. We'll have to see if I make any more mistakes. But let's see if we can get to that Dark Pulse. They're going to go ahead and throw the charge move here. Most likely going to be a Moonblast. But let's see. It's just going to be a Grass Knot, which is fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and overload a bit on energy, but I get far too greedy right here. I shouldn't be loading up this much, especially with a potential Moonblast coming in. So this is some bad misplays by me here at the end, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and swap into the Exeggutor. We have a Dark Pulse loaded. on the Alolan Muck, and we're going to go ahead and go for Dragon Pulse here now on Alolan Executor versus the Defense Form Deoxys. So we'll have to see if they have Rock Slide. But we land the Dragon Pulse there. That did a beautiful amount of damage, and let's see what they decide to do here. Charge Move now coming through, probably gonna be the Rock Slide. Yeah, it is. That does a decent amount of damage. And I'm gonna see if I can get to the Dragon Pulse in time. Nope, I go down to counters, which is unfortunate. We have to throw Dark Pulse right away, which is why I said I let this one get far too close. But hey, still good game to my opponent. Alolan Muck did really well here, and we're going to be able to get to another Dark Pulse in time. So even though I made a lot of technical mistakes there in my gameplay, we're still able to recover well because Alolan Muck is just an absolute monster. Really solid Pokemon. So good game right there to that battler, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This team was a lot of fun. Full Alolan team that you guys probably all have access to. And again, I'm going to be working on getting the other Gen 7 Pokemon that are out there, because there are quite a few of them that look very good for Go Battle League. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.